YNR spoilers reveal new situation at Newman. Victor could face Kyle's wrath. Victor Newman, Audra Charles, and Kyle Abbott in complicated play. The story at Newman Enterprises has never been short of tension, and this time, a major power struggle is underway, affecting not only key players but also relationships within both the Newman and Abbott families. At the center of this confrontation are Victor Newman, who is secretly carrying out a ruthless plan to punish Kyle Abbott, and Sally Spectra, who faces difficult decisions amid potential dangers. Victor Newman makes a promise of punishment. Victor, with his sharp eyes and unmatched fortitude, is more than just a powerful boss at Newman Enterprises. He is a man who will never let anyone, especially those he considers rivals, go unpunished if they go against the Newman family's interests. Kyle Abbott, who has just entered Claire Newman's life, has caused a big problem for Victor's family. The truth about this relationship is threatening to damage the Newman family's reputation, and Victor has promised to punish Kyle by any means necessary. However, what cannot be ignored is the way Victor operates his plans. He does not stop at closed meetings or office strategies. When it comes to Kyle, he sees it as part of a larger game, not just for personal revenge but to ensure that the Newman family's power is not violated. Audra Charles, between two difficult choices. Meanwhile, Audra Charles, who used to work for Victor, is at a crucial crossroads in her career. After a long period of unemployment, she is faced with an attractive offer from Victor himself. As someone who does not always take the easy way out, Audra cannot help but be tempted by a job at Newman Enterprises. However, she also knows that working for Victor does not always bring good results. Audra has had some bad experiences in the past when working under him, and the worry about whether Victor will really keep his promise and not fire her after a while is inevitable. However, one thing cannot be denied is that Audra is in a difficult position when faced with this offer. A dream job is a great opportunity for her, but once again, the question of Victor's loyalty and whether he can really keep his commitment to her in the long run comes up. Audra also knows that working at Newman is not only a career opportunity but also a dangerous move, because in that environment, anything can change at any time. In a crucial conversation with Sally, Audra not only shares her concerns but also reveals some details about Victor's offer. Sally, being cautious by nature, begins to sense the potential risks in the relationship between Audra and Victor, especially considering the price Audra will have to pay if she chooses to participate in this power play. Sally Spectra. The alert and her senses of the situation. Sally, who has always been good at handling complex and tense situations, cannot help but feel a little nervous when Audra shares information about her relationship with Victor. Although Sally understands that Audra is in dire need of a job and has personal reasons for accepting the offer, she also realizes that working with Victor could have unintended consequences. Furthermore, the tension between Audra and Nate, especially when Nate opposes all of Victor's plans, further increases the danger in the relationship between Audra and Sally. Sally understands that once Audra decides to join Victor's plan, she will not only face job uncertainty but also have to deal with a strained relationship with Nate, one of the most powerful influences in Audra's life. With this understanding of the situation, Sally constantly warns Audra about what could happen if she continues to engage in this dangerous game. Kyle Abbott explodes and secrets revealed. Although Victor Newman has insisted that he will do everything he can to make Kyle pay for his relationship with Claire, Kyle's strong opposition creates another dangerous situation. After receiving warnings from Summer about Victor and Audra's plot, Kyle can no longer keep quiet. He explodes in a confrontation with Victor, threatening to destroy all of Newman if Victor does not stop his dark schemes. Kyle's anger comes not only from being threatened but also because he has discovered important secrets about the Newman company that Victor has been trying to hide. These secrets could completely change the situation of the power struggle between the Abbott and Newman families. Victor, though angry at Kyle's unrestrained attitude, is undeterred. He still sticks to his promise of punishment, but now, with Kyle's public confrontation, he is even more determined to make Kyle regret defying him. This makes the situation between the families more tense than ever. The situation in the Newman and Abbott families is becoming more complicated than ever. As Kyle and Victor confront each other, Audra must make a difficult choice between continuing to stick with Victor or giving up on that risky offer. Sally, with her sharp eyes, may be able to help Audra find a less dangerous path, but will Audra have the courage to refuse the lure of power and money from Victor? And as the secrets of the Newman Company are exposed, everyone involved will face decisions that could change their lives forever. This is just the beginning, and the next developments will surely bring great surprises to the audience, as secrets are exposed, and relationships will inevitably face challenges. In the complex world of the young and the restless, power conspiracies always dominate the family relationships, love and career of the characters. And now, the story revolves around Victor Newman is continuing to push relationships into inevitable confrontations, especially when he aims to take revenge on Kyle Abbott, the son of Jack Abbott, whom Victor sees as an enemy who needs to be punished. However, in the midst of this war, Audra Charles, an ambitious but also cautious character, is facing important decisions. Will she reveal all of Victor's secrets to help Kyle or continue to play the power game with Victor? Meanwhile, Victoria Newman also faces expensive lessons about love and control, once again demonstrating how the Newman family operates under Victor's leadership. Audra, between ambition and caution. Audra Charles, after a long period of struggling to find a job, finally receives an attractive offer from Victor Newman. However, she knows very well that working for Victor is not an easy path. Through her past jobs, Audra realizes that Victor is an unpredictable person, with sophisticated plans that not everyone can control. Therefore, she is cautious, not easily drawn into the sweet promises that Victor makes. However, Audra also cannot help but think about the opportunities that Victor brings. When she finds herself in an uncontrollable position, with unemployment and great risks in her life, she begins to face difficult decisions. However, the price of working for Victor may be too high, and that makes Audra unable to decide immediately. Will she reveal all of Victor's secrets to Kyle, as a way to help him deal with the Newman boss's schemes, or will Audra continue to maintain her loyalty and keep the important information that Victor is planning? Because Audra understands that working for Victor also means being caught in a vortex of power that no one can easily pull out of. A relationship with Victor may cost her personal values and lose her freedom. Audra knows that she cannot rely on Victor to always keep his promises, and even less can she rely on long-term security in this job. Jack Abbott and Kyle Abbott, facing the conspiracies together while Audra faces difficult choices. Kyle Abbott, Jack Abbott's son, is no longer willing to stay silent in the face of Victor's conspiracies. After discovering that Victor has dark plans to ruin his life, especially when it comes to Claire Newman, Kyle explodes. With a fierce resentment, Kyle decides to fight against everything Victor wants to impose on his life. He threatens to destroy all of Newman and uses every means to expose important secrets of the Newman Company, an inevitable move when a person is pushed to the edge. Under the leadership of Jack Abbott, Kyle realizes that family is the most important thing. After all the conflicts and confrontations with Victor, Kyle realizes that family bonds and affection are what he values the most. Jack, with his intelligence and strategy, will accompany Kyle in dealing with all of Victor's schemes. But one big question remains: can Kyle and Jack really beat Victor in the game of espionage and power that he is playing? Punishing Kyle and bringing everyone to the brink. Victor Newman, as a father figure and powerful boss, has always believed that he should be the one in control. And when it comes to Kyle Abbott, whom Victor sees as an obstacle to Claire's relationship with the Newman family, he does not hesitate to make promises of punishment. Victor wants Kyle to suffer not only for his relationship with Claire, but also for his opposition to Newman Enterprises. However, there is one thing Victor does not know: Kyle and Jack are secretly trying to beat him at the very game he started. They are working to uncover the secrets of Newman and Jabot's operations, a battle that no one knows who will win. However, Victor will never let go of his power easily. He is willing to use any means to protect the Newman family, and it is only a matter of time before Kyle and Jack's plans are discovered. Victoria Newman, lessons from the past and difficult feelings. Meanwhile, Victoria Newman, Victor's daughter, is also facing lessons from the past. She has experienced heartbreaking love affairs and Victor's tight control over her personal life. Victor's domineering behavior not only affects Victoria's work but also her love life. Although she always wants to assert herself and protect her freedom, Victoria cannot escape the shadow of her father, who always tries to control everything around her. This time, Victoria sets a goal. She wants to protect Claire from Victor's influence and hopes that she can prevent her father from controlling Claire's love life the same way he did her in the past. However, as we know, Victor is not one to be easily persuaded or dissuaded. He always has a way to carry out his plans, even if it goes against the wishes of his children. The implosion is coming with tense relationships and escalating conspiracies. The situation between Kyle, Victor, Audra, and other characters is approaching its climax. Family affection, power, and revenge will soon blow everything up. Kyle and Claire will face great challenges, as dark secrets are exposed and the relationship between the families continues to conflict. The battle between Kyle and Victor may change the situation in the Newman family, and make one thing clear: in this world of lies and calculations, loyalty and family affection are still the most important. Power struggle, Audra, Victor, and Kyle in the game of love in the world of the young and the restless. No one wins forever, and every decision, no matter how small, can change the course of the characters' lives. One of the confrontations that is gradually becoming the center of the current dramatic stories is the power struggle between Victor Newman, Audra Charles, Kyle Abbott, and those around them. This is not just a battle about the company, but also a game of love, hidden secrets, and promises that will shape the future of both the Newman and Abbott families. Audra, the difficult choice between power and loyalty. Audra Charles, a strong but calculating woman, has encountered a difficult situation. After a long period of unemployment, she receives an attractive offer from Victor Newman, a man known for his ruthless and powerful strategies. Victor understood what Audra needed: an exciting and life-changing career opportunity. However, unlike other normal offers, this one came with a significant risk. Audra was well aware that working for Victor was not an easy choice. Victor, with his domineering nature, always demanded absolute loyalty, and once you were on his side, you would no longer have freedom. This made Audra think carefully before making a decision. She understood that accepting Victor's offer would likely expose her to endless intrigue, and could even ruin her relationships with important people in her life, especially Nate Hastings, who had always been on her side. Sally, warnings and complicated feelings. Whether Audra is hesitating or almost ready to accept Victor's invitation, someone else is constantly wary of her every move. Sally Spectra, with her sharp intuition, has no trouble noticing that Audra may be on the brink. Sally, who has experienced the brutal confrontations in Newman's world, senses that Audra may be approaching a decision that could change everything. She realizes that Audra's acceptance of working with Victor is not just a simple business deal but an engagement in a high-stakes power struggle. However, Sally also knows that Audra doesn't have a simple yes or no choice. After a long period of unemployment, Audra can't help but feel the temptation of an offer that can get her out of her predicament. Furthermore, Audra has her own reasons for wanting revenge on Kyle Abbott, whom she sees as part of the reason why her life has become so difficult. With all these factors, Sally cannot help but worry about the decision Audra will make. If Audra is not careful, agreeing with Victor could lead to disaster in her relationship with Nate, and most of all, it will inevitably expose her to betrayal from those around her. The feeling that Audra might betray Victor and reveal all the secrets of Victor's schemes, especially the plot to destroy Kyle, makes Sally increasingly doubt this choice. Victor and Kyle Abbott's revenge plan. But Victor Newman never gives up easily on what he has planned. With a sharp gaze and a tough nature, Victor has set his sights on Kyle Abbott. Jack Abbott's son, whom Victor sees as an obstacle to the Newman family. Kyle's relationship with Claire Newman has hurt Victor's family, and he can't let Kyle live his life without paying the price. Victor believes that Kyle deserves to be severely punished for hurting Claire. Kyle and Claire's relationship not only affects their personal feelings, but it could also affect the relationship between the two most powerful families in the city, the Newman and Abbott families. So Victor decides to carry out a plan that he believes is completely reasonable, to destroy Kyle, not only because of his relationship with Claire, but also because of everything he represents in the power struggle between the Newman and Abbott families. However, what Victor doesn't know is that Kyle and Jack Abbott are secretly plotting against him in the very spy game he started. Kyle and Jack are trying to exploit the secrets that Victor is hiding, especially the conspiracies he is planning at Abbotts. Although Victor is unaware of this, as these secrets begin to be revealed, the war between the families will enter a new phase of tension. From rage to family. While Victor plots to destroy Kyle's life, Kyle himself is facing his own personal problems. After discovering that his relationship with Claire has caused rifts in the Newman family, Kyle begins to take stock of things. He realizes that he has been too focused on his career and personal ambitions, that he has neglected family values, which Victor has used to control everything around him. With support from Jack, Kyle decides that he will not let Victor control his life. Together, they devise a plan to deal with Victor, with the goal of not only protecting Kyle, but also protecting everything the Abbott family has built over the years. Despite the constant dangers and conspiracies, Kyle begins to realize that family values and bonds are the most important things in his life. Audra and Victor's complicated relationship. Audra will have to decide whether to sell out Victor and reveal his secrets to Kyle, or continue to keep the plots she knows about a secret. This decision will not only affect Audra's career, but also the relationships around her. Audra will face the temptation of power and revenge, while Sally tries to warn her of the possible consequences. The complexities of the relationships between Audra, Victor, Kyle, and Sally are just beginning to unfold, and the secrets behind these plots will surely create unpredictable developments in the future. Love, loyalty, and power will continue to intertwine, creating a dramatic story on The Young and the Restless.